Right, I guess.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's Hillsdale City Council meeting on June 15, 2026. There's a sign-in sheet and an agenda when we first walk in. May I have a roll call? City Clerk, please.
Yes, Councilperson Bench.
Here.
Runts.
Here.
Flynn.
Here.
Morrissey. Mayor Pro Tem Galvino.
Here.
Councilperson Soha. Councilperson Stuchel. Wolfram. Here. Mayor Sessions.
Here.
We have 8 present.
Okay, I did receive communication that Councilman Soha will not be here tonight. Okay, so we'll go into the approval of agenda. I do have a few changes to the agenda. On consent agenda, I want to add item L, amendment TCO 2026-20 and 2026-21, and item M, Police Academy Kellogg Community College, Jimenez. And then also, I would like to take off communications of G, Hillsdale County Commissioner update. Doug Ingles, taking that off because he won't be here tonight. So,
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I would also like to take out of the consent agenda, which is when we do this now, right? K, the vacuum truck,
Okay.
please.
And just get rid of it? Or?
No, put it somewhere in new business or old business or wherever it belongs.
Do you want to put new business item E?
Sounds good, thank you.
Okay.
And if you'll indulge me while we're here, I'd also just like to point out to everyone, the citizens and whatnot, with the vacuum truck and the $100,000 or so and the other 5 BPUs, and the payroll and the city and BPU claims, we're wading through here in the next 90 seconds. Over $2 million random meeting in June. I just want to point that out. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. All right, so may I entertain a motion to amend the agenda with the changes discussed? Is there a second?
Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Morrissey, supported by Councilman Flynn. Any council discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Now, may I entertain a motion to approve the amended agenda?
So moved.
Okay.
Support.
All right, I have a motion by Councilman Morrissey, supported by Councilman Flynn. Any council discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. We now have an agenda. Okay, we'll move into public comment on agenda items only by council rules of procedure. I'm requiring everyone who speaks during the public comment to state their name and address and limit their comments to 5 minutes. 3 minutes. Again, this on agenda items only. The podium is now open.
Hello, how's everybody doing today?
I need you to state your name.
So I'm here to suggest that you fix your rule on the
You
unconstitutional.
need to state your name by council, the council rules.
So how many constitutional scholars do we have on
You
the
need
board?
to state your name.
How many constitutional
You
scholars?
need to state your name, sir, otherwise
I'm
you cannot speak.
going to be speaking my 3 minutes.
You cannot. You cannot.
Should we call
You
you
have
that?
to. You have to say your name.
No, I don't have to say my name.
Yes, you do.
No,
Yes, you do.
your rule is unconstitutional.
You need to state your name. Otherwise, you can't speak. You'll be out of order again.
Okay, so
You need to state
interested
your
in taking
name.
up a motion to change this rule?
You need to state your name before you can speak.
Just gonna keep cutting off.
You need to state your name before you can speak. That is the council rules.
Why do you need to know my name?
You need to state your
Why?
name. You need to
Why?
state your name. You need to state
Why?
your name. You need to state your name. You need to state your name.
For what
You
reason?
need to state your name.
Because why?
You need to state your name. It's the council rules. You need to state your
Your
name.
council rules are
You need to
Not-
state your name.
not gonna state my name.
You are out of order then.
For?
You need to sit down.
What am I out of order for?
Because you are not stating your name as it is by the rules.
Your rules are unconstitutional.
You are out of order.
Your rules are against the law.
This is your second chance. You are out of order.
I'm not out of order.
You are out of order.
Your rules are out of order.
You are out of
This
order.
board's out of order.
I am asking you to sit down. You are out of order.
What am I out of order for?
You are out of order because you are not following the rules of what this council has voted for and put in place. So you're out of order.
So nobody can come here and.
You are out of order, all right, I am going.
Nobody can redress their government honestly
If
around
you do
here.
not sit down because you're out of order, I am going to have to ask the sergeant of arms to.
I mean, you're gonna have to choose what you're gonna choose to do.
Sergeant of arms?
Oh, you got me already? Thanks.
Just a point of order, was the timer started?
Yes.
Oh, are you keeping track of it manually? Okay, sorry.
Okay, is there any more public comment on agenda items only?
Jill Hardway, 157 Oak Street.
Thank you.
I'm here to speak about the city's fiscal priorities, specifically the contrast between the high cost of new municipal equipment and the heavy financial burden being placed on Hillsdale residents with these special assessments we've discussed many times before. Until March, our city's policy for road repair was to stretch available dollars by assessing residents up to $5,000 per parcel. For many in our community, this is a significant hardship. In the West St. Joe and Griswold project area, property owners were asked to shoulder over $178,000 in the Westwood area. That burden was over $420,000. Yet while we tell residents the city can't afford to fix the failing streets without their personal checkbooks, we are seeing capital outlays for equipment such as a Vector truck that exceeds $609,000 for a single unit. To put that in perspective, the cost of one truck is equivalent to the total stat assessments for nearly 3 major road projects combined. So I have a few questions. If the city can find $600,000 in the budget for a single piece of equipment, why can those funds not be utilized to reduce or eliminate the $5,000 assessment cap currently placed on residents for essential infrastructure? It was proposed in March of 2025 that the city use the capital outlay fund to pay for the Berry Street SAD to provide resident relief. Is this new truck being purchased from that same fund? And how is it determined that a vehicle is a higher priority than the crumbling roads our citizens drive on every day? I'm curious to know what the year of our current Vector truck is. How often is it used? Has there been significant issues with the truck? A single $600,000 equipment purchase represents roughly 66% of the total combined assessment burden placed on hundreds of families for major road reconstructions across the city. While road projects like Monroe Street cost roughly $737,112, the city frequently claims it cannot afford these repairs without the $5,000 per parcel residential contribution. We often hear that these special assessments are necessary. However, we then see a six-figure equipment purchase on the agenda while residents on Monroe Street, St. Joe, and others are being hit with that $5,000 lien on their homes. It could suggest a problem with our priorities, not just our budget. I ask that council reconsider the benefit of this purchase versus the immediate need and the need of the taxpayers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more public comment?
Hello, my name is Brodensky. I'm coming from Panama. I'm doing very many different things and selling. But I'm looking for you guys to doing in here, the city in for all the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. We're having many problems in this country.
No.
And now we're having,
You can't do that.
I coming
It's
for
not on the
service
agenda.
now.
It's not on the agenda.
Okay, I go now. Thank you.
Yep. You didn't give your name either, sir, so.
Or didn't you?
Yeah, you need to give your first and full name. Okay, any more public comment? Okay, seeing none, I'm gonna close the voting. And we'll move into the consent agenda. I have A, approval of bills. 1, city and BP claims of May 28, 2026 of $1,117,623.56. Payroll of June 4th, 2026 of $222,963.02. City council minutes of June 1st, 2026. Finance minutes of June 1st, 2026. Light up parade right-of-way permit approval. Light up parade use agreement. BPU renewal Millsoft licensing. BPU South Street water tower mixer. BPU Eaton water meter nodes. BPU aerator gearbox, and BPU Ferrous chloride storage tank WWP. And then we have amended TCO 2026-20 and 2026-2021. And Police Academy, Kellogg Community College, Jimenez. Is there any council discussion? Seeing none? Yes, Councilman Bauer.
Sorry, these two new items, do they have a dollar amount? I see the total is $10,300 for Jimenez. Jason, like one's the. Oh, it's just TCO, thank you, sorry.
Okay, so, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Second, is there a second? Okay, a motion by Councilman Morrison, support by Councilman Flynn, any council discussion? Seeing none, may I roll call, will city clerk, please?
Yes, Councilperson Flynn.
Yes.
Morrissey.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Palladino.
Yes.
Councilperson Stutzel.
Yes.
Wolfram.
Yes.
Mayor Sessions.
Yes.
Councilperson Bentley.
Yes.
And Grimes.
Yes.
All approved.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're moving into communications and petition. I have A, US and UVA disaster loan information. Assistant City Manager Fry.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. We have a guest here with us tonight, Sarah Edwards, who is a public affairs specialist with the United States Small Business Administration. She has some information that she would like to share with the Council. This is pertaining to some of the SBA programs, including disaster loans, and it has to do with the severe weather that our area and surrounding counties experiencing. So I'll let Sarah take it. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you so much. You pretty much did my job for me. But yes, we are in the Michigan area, letting all communities know who were impacted by the March 6th straight line winds that hit Michigan, to know that we have disaster loans available for businesses, nonprofits, and even homeowners who might have been impacted. Currently, right now, we're focused on our economic injury disaster loan, and I think that impacts Hillsdale County the most. I'm not really for sure if anybody in Hillsdale got impacted directly. However, if any business or nonprofit was impacted economically, meaning to say that the customer base was impacted and they therefore weren't able to shop or deal with the business, and businesses recognize that the revenues have gone down, they can apply for our economic injury disaster loan, which is available through January of 2027.
You closer to the
Anybody
mic.
can apply. Anybody can apply at our website, that's www.sba.gov/disaster. And like I said, through January of 2027, you should be able to apply to receive any benefit. If you have any questions, like I said, go to our website. I'll say it one more time, www.sba.gov/disaster, and you can find that information there. Thank you so much.
Alright, so then we will go, we have the 2026 Summer Special Assessment Goal, 2026 Summer Tax Report, HUD OIG letter, Safety Fair flyer, Hillsdale 250 celebration flyer. That is it, do we have any council discussion? Councilman Dunn.
Yes, I don't know if, Tim's not here. Is there anybody that could, explain a little bit about the special assessment role in the summer tax one? 10-5.
The special, Kim is not here tonight, but if you have questions, we can get you the answers. We'll have to continue to follow up with you.
But, I mean, just generally speaking, there seem to be liens for, I mean, but caught by what? Why were these liens, generally speaking?
There will be various things that we do this annually. If you have a specific question, you can go back to this session for now.
All right, thank you.
Any more council discussion? Okay, moving to. We have no introduction or adoption of ordinance for public hearing, no business, Kiefer House Hotel, LLC, Road Resolution Amendments. Assistant City Manager,
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So in April of 2019, the City of Hillsdale approved Resolution 3372, which granted Kiefer House LLC an obsolete property rehabilitation exemption certificate for their property located at 96, 100, 102, and 104 North Howell Street. The certificate was approved for a period of 12 years, beginning December 31st, 2019, and ending December 30 of 2032, pursuant to the provisions of Public Act 146 of 2000. Originally, the facility rehabilitation was required to be completed by December 31st, 2021. However, as most of you know, it's been an ongoing project. The developer continues to work towards completing the hotel. They've came back to council several times to provide updates or request an extension of that completion date, seeking to remain in compliance with the certificate the council granted them. What they're requesting now is an additional extension only of the completion date of the project, not the certificate. I want to be very clear about that. The certificate date does not change. So it still goes away in December 30 of 2032, which means the longer the project goes on, the less years they have to take advantage of the tax relief that the certificate provides. So what we're talking about tonight is specifically an extension of the date that they are supposed to be complete with the project to satisfy the certificate. Now, what has been requested is to extend the project completion date to September of 2030. There are a couple options that council has here, and I'll go through these really quickly, and then we do have representatives from the developer here if you have specific project-related questions for them. Currently, option number one is we do have an amended resolution in there that would set the new completion date to September 30, 2026. That would ensure additional time for them to finish the project, as well as ensure that the Oprah certificate remains valid through the extended timeline at the state level. Council could decline to adopt the proposed resolution. Now, that is not revoking the certificate, that's just keeping the completion date as June 30, 2026. If the project is not completed by that date, the certificate would still be in effect unless council took future action down the road to direct staff to prepare for revocation. And then anytime prior to October 30, council could adopt a resolution requesting revocation if the project was not completed or council otherwise wanted to pursue that option. They would then direct staff to prepare that. Those are the options at hand for you tonight. We do have, again, developer here. We have representative as well as their new general contractor. So I will turn it over to them unless you have any specific certificate questions for me that I can answer first.
Councilman Button?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, Mr. Fry. October 30th. If nothing happens, what happens? Like, what am I asking? The next opportunity to, if we didn't renew it, would be the following October, presumably? Is that how it works?
So the October 30 date, that is the deadline for us to get information to the State Tax Commission for them to place it on the agenda to make a decision on a certificate. So if council in this case wished to revoke it, they would direct staff to do that. We would want to get it done before October 30th, so the State Tax Commission could act on it before the end of the year. If they revoked it during this calendar year, then the project would not have the tax abatement for the 2026 calendar year and the remaining years moving forward. If no action was taken on revocation before October 30, then the certificate, presumably if it doesn't go before the State Tax Commission by the deadline, would remain in effect not only for the 2026 tax year, but then council would have to act sometime prior to October 30 of 2027 if we wanted to remove it for the 27 tax year.
Thank you.
Any more council questions?
All right, I believe we have Brent here.
Good evening, everybody. Good to see you again. We did a tour this afternoon at the Kiefer. We had a chance to see the progress as well as meet Nathan, and I'd like to have him introduce himself and kind of just give a general overview of the progress that you guys saw. Nathan is with Global Builders.
Hello, Nathan Dean, 277 Willowwood Drive in Oswego. We are currently finishing up the second floor with finishes, painting and electrical trim, plumbing as well. Third floor is substantially complete except for the corridor. Kitchen is mostly done. We're starting the flooring. Millwork's been ordered. We expect to be done in the next couple of months with the millwork portion and TCO.
Councilman Flynn?
When you say the next couple of months, could you be a little more specific? Like end of July, end of August?
So yeah, for a TCO, we're looking for the end of July. And then for a final C of O, mid-August.
And I was, Mr. Mayor, I was encouraged when we took the tour that I hear that we've hired, that they, not us, they have hired a general manager and a head chef. So that's, I mean, you wouldn't do that if this thing wasn't gonna open pretty soon.
Yeah, that's correct. We have hired our chef. He started June 1st, and we have our general manager starting on Monday. So in the background, we've been working to get this property in preparation for opening. So as soon as we get the certificate of occupancy, there hopefully will be a very limited window of time between completion of construction and ability to occupy the building and the actual opening and sellable of each of the rooms that we've got.
Is HIS still going to operate the hotel, or do you have somebody else coming in?
No, we do not have HIS anymore. We have our general manager, and then we've got a hospitality consultant who's been in the industry for several decades, and so we're working with him to help us guide with the general manager of the property, and then the other position will be our assistant general manager of the property that we're looking for to have the extra backup and knowledge and skill gap to make sure between the restaurant, food and beverage side and the hospitality side are well covered. It is a small property, so we found a general manager with good experience in the industry with a good background who was able to take on the hospitality side.
And could you, for those who are here tonight, could you just kind of explain a little bit about the backside of the building? I was pretty interested when you were telling them about what's going to happen between the building and the alley.
Yeah, absolutely. So the plan for the rear of the building, the exterior landscaping, is still being finalized, so this may change. But right now, the prevailing plan shows a one-lane drop-off zone. Historically, for those who remember, it was two. We've narrowed it down to one, with a will slope into the building so guests can wheel their bags in, and it'll also be our ADA entrance. And so having that drop-off zone in the back will help alleviate a lot of traffic on the front side. We've also planned for proper signage on the front that will direct guests to go to the back, so that way we're not blocking up Powell Street. Beyond that, from the closer to the building side of it, we intend to have a patio area, which will hopefully accommodate outdoor dining, and then we'll have a lawn green space that will attach right to it, which could be for extended dining, as well as private events and any particular pop-up functions. I brought the chef over there last week and kind of mapped it out on the ground, and he was really excited about the opportunity of the addition of outdoor dining to this plan. Initially, we had planned some soft seating like a fire pit, but talking about making it a really good usable asset for the community, we thought that was a better route. And he's got ideas for all sorts of different food pop-ups and everything else that we can do to really make it a great usable asset for the community, and offering a slightly different food offering at times, as well as complementary to the restaurant inside itself, so you don't feel like you need to be barred from enjoying this restaurant if you don't want to go inside.
And Sam, could you step up to the podium again real quick and just discuss parking, because that's another big thing that we talked about this afternoon, just so people, especially businesses in the downtown area, kind of know what's going on with the future parking.
Yes, we touched on that a little bit during our tour. That was one of the questions that came up. Jason and I had a meeting with Brandt and another colleague of his some months back to discuss parking. In terms of what we need in the actual number of spaces, we believe there is adequate parking in the area within a reasonable, walking distance radius to the property. What we had discussed doing is, in conjunction with the Department of Public Services, taking a look at some of those city-owned lots in the area, as well as some of the on-street parking, and seeing if we could look at, re-signing some of those areas, perhaps, changing some of the limited parking to overnight. For instance, there is the Elks lot there, where we feel there is space along the edges of those lots to add additional overnight parking. And so we're looking at adding additionally, maybe an extra handicap parking space or two near the hotel. So in talking with Brandt and his team, we think that we'll have a reasonable proposal to bring to council on that as we get closer to opening, and then look at re-signing some of those areas.
Thank you.
Councilman Bentley. So you said the TCO, hopefully maybe-ish by end of July, the certificate of occupancy mid-August. Heads on pillows, pay to customers.
So as I said, as soon as we can get the TCO, we are going to be working to start stocking train the building, filling it with the furniture, getting the staff in there to start getting trained on the systems, which will hopefully shorten that window after certificate of occupancy. So when we have the certificate of occupancy, we should be in a position within a handful of weeks to be able to get the hotel actually open for a head on a pillow. That hinges on those dates, and I don't have the direct answer of how much time we need between certificate of occupancy to be able to take a head on a pillow. But with our general manager coming on board next week, he's got a laundry list of tasks to go through. But talking about the opening, the timeline, prioritizing staff hiring, training, working with the general contractor on when we can get access to that building will all help us kind of flush out closer to a date. Our objective is, as soon as we can get a guest in the room, we're going to do that. If that means that we don't have a big party the first day we cut the ribbon, that's fine. We're going to get guests in the room. If that means the restaurant comes a few weeks later, that's fine. As soon as we can get them in there.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. And also, employees, what does it look like, and how are you going to hire, and how long will that take, and will it be local, and what kind of jobs?
A lot of questions. Hiring is going to be local as best we can. We're going to put out for all the different traditional sites for hiring, from Indeed and so on, with our general manager and our HR department. Hopefully we'll be able to work with the local staffing agencies. I've been in communication with Elwood here, at least preliminarily, as well as our general manager is coming from a hotel in the region, and he believes he has some employees he might be able to bring with him. So there's a lot of different avenues. Chef has even floated the idea of talking to some of the regional community colleges and other culinary areas in their programs to get job training and internship programs into the kitchen to help help fill some of those voids and those weird hours. So we're open to all suggestions in every avenue.
I guess that what I'm asking though is from like numbers, the best you can estimate for, you know,
Yeah,
the different various
Yeah.
lower level stuff.
most of the staff will be within the restaurant side, and so I think total for the hotel will probably be around max 30 full-time equivalent. Probably 20 if I was to be a little conservative on that, somewhere in that range. Again, it depends on the level of how we build out the restaurant for the chef, what he needs, what service hours we end up starting with or expanding into, how well we do with events, if we continue to see growth and we double the size of the restaurant into that first retail space, that means more. So I don't have an exact number, but that's kind of the range.
Any more questions? Okay. Seeing, thank you.
I was just going to say just real quick then, just to reiterate kind of the over portion of this. So as Sam had said, we're asking to amend the compliance date within the substantial completion of the OPER agreement. As he said, it was agreed to back in 2019. We're not asking to extend the agreement. It's just to keep us within compliance while we continue to work. And as he said, the detriment is on our side for not being done sooner to take full advantage of the abatement. But we've continued to work through it, and we're just asking at least to September 30th to amend that construction compliance date within the agreement. So, thank you.
May I entertain a motion to adopt either number 1, to adopt the proposed resolution, or number 2, to decline to adopt the proposed resolution.
Move to adopt number 2, decline to adopt the proposed resolution, and I'll wait for a second before I discuss.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any council discussion? Okay, Councilman Miller.
Just to reiterate what Mr. Fry said, there would be no effect for us to decline the OPA at this time. The decision would remain completely with this body. And so there's no reason to expect it because there's no risk that the majority of the 9 of us are going to do the next step before October 30th. So I will be, that's my position.
Councilman Stucci.
TIFA board, this council, have been very proactive for the Kiefer Hotel. We all see how close we were, so I'm not sure why we want to throw a negative vote in or not. The Kiefer Hotel's been with our skyline for 149 years. Did a little research, it's interesting. It's we built the same year the Watching Monument was built, like 56 years before the Jefferson Memorial was built. So I understand why we want to go with a negative taste and threaten to taste.
Councilman Wolford.
Yeah, I would agree with Councilman Stucci that there's no reason for us to have a negative sign on this. I mean, we're not going to have anything, essentially, if they delay completion, they're using the tax abatement during that period. They're not asking for an extension of the abatement itself. And so anything that they fail to do and haven't gone through the building today, I mean, they clearly are spending money and they're clearly moving towards getting the hotel and the restaurant open. And I just don't think that it's to our advantage at all to have some sort of negative. Just not. If they slow down in completing, they're the ones that are using the time that's left before the abatement.
Councilman Valley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, Mr. Stucci, I did already speak and I'm going to respond to my 2 fellow councilmen. Thank you. Yes, I meant to say earlier, it is much improved. There's been a lot of work done and it's going to be a beautiful space. You can accuse me of negativity. That's what we do around here. it's not negativity, and as I said, it has no effect. This council is not going to do the next step. I'm not even suggesting we should. I'm as hopeful as anyone else that it will be completed by Christmas. And it's a beautiful space, but I've only been here less than 2 years. Some of you have been here since the beginning, so it's kind of surprising to me that you are also willing to over and over and over have the football pulled away. And so, yeah, we're here again. Okay, then let's get to the end. I'm not standing in the way. But I don't. The football's been pulled so many times just since I've been here. That's why I want to be voting for the other motion.
More council discussion. Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote? City clerk. The motion was to decline it to adopt. Right. Yes. Correct. And if you say no, then you're voting against the decline. Does that make sense? Okay. So, there's a motion by Councilman Bentley, supported by Councilman Franz. May I have any more council discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, City Clerk Price?
Councilperson Morrissey.
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Palladino.
No.
Councilperson Stuchel.
No.
Councilperson Wolfram.
No.
Mayor Sessions.
Yes.
Councilperson Bentley.
Yes.
Bruns.
Yes.
And Flynn.
No.
2 yes, 6 no, it fails.
All right. Thank you very much.
I think that's the
Yes.
yeses. 3 yeses.
3 yeses, excuse me.
Yes.
I would then like to make a motion that we adopt the proposed resolution for the Kiefer House, Oprah Resolution Amendment Extension.
Second, I have a motion by Councilman Flynn, supported by Councilman Morrissey. Any more council discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, City Clerk Price?
Mayor Pro Tem Palladino.
Yes.
Councilperson Stuchel.
Yes.
Wolfram.
Yes.
Mayor Sessions.
No.
Councilperson Bentley.
Yes.
Bruns.
No.
Flynn.
Yes.
And Morrissey.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Passes in this 3681 resolution.
Okay, now we'll move into, new business, item A, the 2025-2026 fiscal year budget amendments. And I have Tina to the chair of this.
Hello, good evening. I'm here with the fourth quarter budget amendments for the 25-26 fiscal year. The first section, you're gonna see all general fund. We're gonna do an amendment for the sale of city property. I believe that was for the property next to the church. Then for the finance department and treasurer's department, we are adjusting the contractual services to reflect the actual. For the fire department, we're expecting higher costs, so we're gonna move that up a little bit. And the same with the engineering department, there's more time being charged to the engineering department on the general fund side than we had expected when we did the budget. Down below is gonna be the tree restitution fund, Fund 211. We purchased some trees that we didn't expect to do, so we are going to make an amendment for that. On the next page is TIFA. These are all per the TIFA board. And Fund 252, which is the contributions and donations fund. We purchased a memorial bench in this fiscal year. The money was collected last year, so we paid for it this year, so we're going to adjust that. On the third page is going to be the library fund. We had some additional expenditures. As you can see, the supplies, contributions, the contractual services, the library donation expenditures, community promotions, utilities, repairs and maintenance, and then in the children's library is all the supplies and books. These are to reflect for the grant, so we have to show the money that came in this year, the money that went out. It's for the terminal and the terminal parking lot. And for the terminal parking lot, it's basically the money coming in, money coming out, it's a wash. The terminal is going to cost us $78,915, and that's the remaining of our portion for that contract. That's it, any questions?
Any questions? Councilman Bentley?
For the TIFA, the legal services is 22,378, looks like, that's for the liquor license transfer thing.
Yeah, that'd be for the Dawn.
Are we gonna vote on, is there only one vote on this, or can we take the TIFA stuff, can we take stuff out? And do separate votes? Not all of them. I don't need
I would think there's only one vote.
okay. Legal services and utilities, why do the utilities jump?
That's to finish out this fiscal year. They never budgeted for utilities.
Oh, yes, back to the CO red thing.
Yep.
Okay. I have no other questions.
Okay, Councilman Flynn?
Yes, just a quick question for Mr. Mackey. I would assume Mr. Mackey. The sale of that lot to the church, was that something that council was supposed to vote on? I was always under the assumption that when city property was sold, we'd go into closed session, you talk about it. Did we do any of that? Did I miss that? Or?
Council did vote on that, but it was a bit ago.
Okay.
And just going through the due diligence took a while, so we just recently ended up closing. Because we were dealing with not only the church local, but also the diocese.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Any more council questions or discussion? Thank you. Okay. May I entertain a motion then to approve the budget resolution?
So moved.
Support. All right, I have a motion by Councilman Flynn, supported by Councilman Stuchel. Any more council discussion? Seeing none, we have a roll call vote. City Clerk Price.
Councilperson Stuchel.
Yes.
Wolfram.
Yes.
Mayor Sessions.
Yes.
Councilperson Bentley.
Yes.
Bruns.
Yes.
Flynn.
Yes.
Morrissey.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Palladino.
Yes.
It's approved 8-0, resolution 3682.
All right, thank you. We'll move to new business. Item B, purchase of the liquor license for Tifa 4. And Ms. Cornelia Smith, please come to the board.
Good evening. This is a motion to have the purchase of over $10,000 approved by City Council for the repurchase of a liquor license back into Tifa's possession. It was originally part of the 2021 liquor license purchase agreement that was entered into by Keeper House LLC and Hillsdale City Tifa. Based on the 2025 exit agreement, this is part of that to fulfill that agreement. So I'm asking for the purchase to be approved. They have the funds, and it's to fulfill that exit agreement.
Councilman Bentley.
The exit agreement, as you referred to, says it can be purchased for up to $20,000. So we're just gonna max it out?
It was matching what they purchased it for initially.
Okay, but they backed out of the deal. I will be voting no strenuously for this. They're half a decade beyond finishing the thing. They walked away on the contract we had on the Dawn. We're saddled with this elevator increase nonsense. This is egregious. They should give us the liquor license for $1, and that's not it. Let alone what we talked about just a minute ago. We gotta have this liquor license legal retainer indefinitely. We need to get out of the liquor license business and the dong business and the kefir business.
Councilman Flynn.
Olivia, if we buy this back, does whoever is chosen by Tifa to manage the Dawn, do they then buy it back from Tifa, or can Tifa sell this liquor license to anybody they choose?
I believe that's still in negotiations, but I believe Tiffel will retain it and then have a user, and then they have to go through that process to become a valid user of the liquor license.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be part of their agreement with the new manager,
Okay,
but they will retain it, to my knowledge.
okay, thank you.
Councilman Paladino, or Mayor Pro Tem Paladino.
Thank you, Mayor Sessions. Was this already negotiated between Tifa and CL Red or Kiefer House Hotel?
Which part?
The purchase price?
I believe so, that was part of that 2021 purchase agreement, and then a further agreed upon in July of 2025 for their exit agreement.
Yeah, I was just gonna reiterate what Olivia said. So if you look at the actual 2021 agreement, which is in the packet, that agreement, which was executed in 2021, stipulated that Tifa would buy it back at the cost of $20,000.
That's maybe one way to read it, I suppose.
Buyer will pay to seller $20,000 in the form of a cashier's check, wire transfer, or other funds.
Where? What page?
So this is in the liquor license purchase agreement.
The yellow highlighted.
There's highlighted parts in there.
Oh, not in the packet excerpt.
No,
Okay,
there's part
down
of
in the actual purchase.
material, yeah.
Shall we pay the term closing power? Yeah, I mean, I agree. It is egregious. They back out. They put new attorney costs on Tifa. They don't fulfill their end of the bargain with these escalating rental payments. They take advantage of the early years of the rental payments and then back out when it's clear that it's not profitable or that who's not interested. And yet we're going to stick to the letter of the law. I guess, unfortunately, I would like to stick to the letter of the law, even though I think they pretty clearly violated the contract here. I don't know, when we talked about this earlier, I think our attorney basically said, yeah, there's nothing you can do, they can leave the contract. But then we have to stick to it, I suppose. I mean, I guess on the bright side, a $20,000 liquor license in 2019 is worth a lot more today, so we're not losing money, I suppose, but it is a bad luck, yeah. Okay, I'll stop.
And just one clarification quickly. So this is actually its own agreement. The liquor license purchase agreement is an agreement that was executed in 2021 when Tifa sold the license to allow them to then recover it should a situation like this happen where there's a change in management or there's a different operator in the future. It's to prevent them from hanging on to the license, which Tifa wanted to keep and retain, to then make available to a future operator.
Right, I understand that it's different from the lease and use and utility agreement, or the triple net or whatever they call that, but it does seem like it should be returned given that they have incurred, I mean, right there, $40,000 in unexpected expenses this year because of them backing out early, as well as a year of Tifa, or of the Dawn being used, I don't know, half or less of what it has been in previous years. I mean, there have been events. Yeah, I guess I'll vote for it, since it is in clear language there.
Councilman Bentley.
I've been waiting for some time, just asking anybody, I think I've asked you before. I'm still waiting to hear if, what revenues Tifa has collected, since the back out of the Dawn. Why are we doing the timing? What's the timing about? We're still in negotiations with this big city management company. Can anybody shed light on that?
Do you mean for operation of the dome? I know that the targeted development committee is meeting this week regarding that, so I can't speak on that as a liaison, but.
They're actually not, there's a notice that they're not meeting tomorrow, right? The meeting ends July. Oh, I'm sorry, thank you, okay. there's a third question, the third point, the liquor license, never mind.
Any more questions? Okay. May I entertain a motion then to approve the purchase amount of $20,000 so that the funds may be distributed to fulfill the requirements of the agreement.
So,
A motion by Councilman Flynn, supported by Councilman Stutro. Any more council discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, City Clerk Price?
Yes, Councilperson Wolfram?
Yes.
Mayor Sessions?
Yes.
Councilperson Bentley?
No.
Councilperson Bruns?
No.
Flynn?
yes.
Morrissey? Palladino?
Yes.
And Stutro?
Yes.
6 yes, 2 no. It's approved.
Okay, thank you. Now we move into new business item C, elevator contract amendment for the Dawn Theater. Jason Blake, Director of Public Services.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So part of State of Michigan construction, Bureau Construction elevator does require semi-annual inspections for the Dawn Theater to be handicapped lift over there. As we already have a contract for the library, for the elevator here at City Hall, we'd like to amend our current contract to add that in. On June 2nd, Libby did take to the board, the TIFA board, to pay for these increase of $78 a month. So our contract, if the amendment is approved, will go from a current $3,151 a month or a year to $4,087. Again, TIFA has voted to take that cost on. Our current contract they have with the elevator city does expire April 30th of 2028. So if we need to amend it again, that would be the time to do so. So with that being said, I would ask if there are any questions, Olivia's here, she can put more light onto it. The details of the TIFA, I was with our current contract, I wanted to see if I could propose this and add this to our current contract so we're not forgetting it.
Okay, any questions? Councilman Bentley?
Okay, I guess I read that wrong. So the $78 monthly increase is because we're paying zero as before now over there?
Correct.
Until they're gonna pick up the 78?
Correct.
And the previous 262 was for this building?
Yes.
I see, okay, thank you.
No council questions? Seeing none,
I'm sorry.
oh, Councilman Bentley?
No, so why were we paying zero before?
So, Lily,
Apparently, I'm not sure if that was part of CL's expenses, but we did not have a maintenance plan in place for that. It's considered a lift through the state. We failed an inspection based on not having a maintenance plan in place. This is the bare minimum to allow us to pass that, so that can continue to be used over there. So I'm not sure where that fell through the cracks during that process, but.
And just so people understand, that's purely an inspection. They just use their eyeballs. They can't turn a screw. They can't fix anything. There's no parts, no labor.
Yeah, no parts.
It's
It just is a biannual inspection to be able to pass the state requirements.
Thank you.
Correct. It's kind of like our boilers for the state. They inspect and log, and that's what they look for when they come here for the state.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
May I entertain a motion then to approve the contract amendment to include the wheelchair lift located at the Dawn Theater to the city's current elevator maintenance contract?
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Stuccio, supported by Councilman Wolfram. Any more council discussion? Seeing none, may I have a roll call vote, City Clerk Price?
Yes, Mayor Sessions?
Yes.
Councilperson Bentley?
Yes.
Bruns?
No.
Flynn?
Yes.
Morrissey?
Yes.
Councilperson Palladino?
Yes.
Stutro?
Yes.
And Wolfram?
Yes.
7-1, it's approved.
Okay, thank you. We will now move into new business item D, the July 6th, 2026 City Council meeting discussion. City Manager Mackey.
Thank you, Mayor. This was put on the agenda because historically the
first meeting, right after the 4th of July, the council has chosen to cancel the meeting. This being right at the Monday after the 4th on Saturday. I want to put it on the agenda for your discussion and decision on what direction you would like to go. That way we can notify the public with ample time.
Councilman Bentley.
Yes, I remember discussing this earlier, and I don't myself think it's good policy to have 5 weeks between meetings. And I wish we could, and I hope when the new council takes their seats in November, we can have a more rational calendar with summer hours, because 4th of July is every year. That being said, I move to cancel the meeting in question.
Okay. You're making a motion to cancel the meeting, July? Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we got a motion by Councilman Bentley, supported by Councilman Morrissey to cancel the July 6th, 2026 regular meeting and direct city staff accordingly. Is there any more council discussion? Seeing none, we have a roll call vote. City Clerk Price.
Yes, Councilperson Bentley.
Yes.
Bruns.
Yes.
Flynn.
Yes.
Morrissey.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Palladino.
Yes.
Councilperson Stewart.
Yes.
Wolfram.
Yes.
Mayor Sessions.
Yes.
6-0 is approved.
All right, thank you. Now we move into new business, item E, the BPU Vector truck. City Manager Mackey.
Thank you, Mayor. So as is in the packet, the current sewer cleaning truck is due for replacement. To answer the one question, it is about 10 years old, and they use it pretty much daily. The old truck, we plan on keeping that, and actually it will be purchased through the DPS department interdepartmentally for $100,000. They use it. They use a truck they have sparingly, but their truck that DPS currently has is non-repairable. So that being said, as it says, the DPS will purchase a truck from the BPU. The water and sewer departments will each pay $300,000 in electric, paying about $9,300. There's a feature that we've added to this truck that will allow the departments to use it in the wintertime, particularly the electric department, for drilling, excavating holes for power poles. To answer some of the questions that were brought up under council comment, the BPU is considered an enterprise fund. So enterprise funds cannot spend their funds to support the general fund unless it's something that they're directly impacted by. Like when we did Monroe Street, the section that's in front of the BPU offices, they paid their special assessments for those lots there. But the BPU cannot fund special assessments in general or road construction in the city. Now, if there were work done that was part of the project, like there was a sewer or water main that needed replaced or electric underground, now they can attribute that to a project, but they can't just pay special assessments on the general fund's behalf. But to answer some of the things this is used for on a daily basis, whether it be sewer backups in the manholes, main breaks, main breaks, power pole excavation, excavating around utility lines when they're very close. We have fiber optic, we have electrical, we have gas, we have many things, and when they come together, they can't dig it effectively with a bucket or a backhoe. They use this to excavate around those so they don't damage them. I do have Mark Becker, who is the sewer
manager over the distribution crew that could answer direct questions that council may have. But this truck is typically replaced in municipalities about every 3 years, just because they're used so hard. This one has lasted us about 10 years, so we've gotten about 3 times the life out of it. But it's been well maintained, so that's why it's effective for us to transition it to the DPS department. Mark, is there anything you want to add?
Just that it's one of the most important tools we have for the trade for water and sewer. We use it for almost everything that we touch, whether it's repairing a water service or in the middle of winter when it's 10 degrees below zero and we have a water main break. That's like our main tool to keep our workers safe and being able to mitigate the water that's literally spraying out at us and, freezing on our clothes and stuff. So it's a pretty important part of our industry.
Councilman Valley.
Thank you. Yes, I'm sure it's very important. I don't mean that at all facetiously, but has it been out of service? Like 10 years? Okay, we got 10 years life out of it. Due for replacement makes me a little. I don't like the sound of that. Has it been out of how do we know we can't get 2 or 3 more years out of it?
We monitor our maintenance on it very closely. There are several wear items on it that they kind of have a shelf life, and some of those wear items, if they go bad, it's cost prohibitive to have them repaired. And we have brought it back to the manufacturer a couple times, to have things repaired on it. So it's not that we just use it all up in one shot and then it's done. It's served its purpose very well. We work very hard to maintain it. Thank you for that.
If I may, so traditionally the last vacuum that they had now, back in I believe it was 2016, the vacuum they had is 1999. It's been on 26 years now that we have. So on to this too, the vacuum we have, it is not repairable. These machines are just sandblast machines. Every time we suck something up, everything in there is just sandblast. It's just ruining the tank. And we have fixed this machine quite a few times. So that is getting to the point where it has having problems of weldable pieces that can be done. That's probably the biggest thing that's on there. Ours, the one we currently have, is just too far gone. There's nothing to weld to. A new tank is $73,000. It's all handmade. So this also, which also let us do is we do all of our storing and we do hydro excavating as well. We don't use our machine as much as Board of Public Utilities do as they do on a daily basis. We go out 10 to 14 times a year. So that's why switching this over to us makes sense. I do have in the budget too, in our capital improvement budget for a Vector at the same price in 2 years. So our thought was to move this over here, prolong ours out as long as we can, and give them the stream since they do use it on a daily basis. So it might not be a directly cost now. We are saving in the future for some of that for us.
Thank you, and thank you for your good maintenance of all the equipment under here. So I have no further questions for them, but I would like to say a couple of things. For all the accusations of negativity we throw around here, I'm fairly sure that there hasn't been one single vote of any council member against any request from BPU since I've been on here. And I don't plan to vote for this, against this either. But I did want to at least give the appearance of some oversight, so thank you very much. I move to approve the purchase of the Vector truck.
Second. All right, a motion by Councilman Bentley, supported by Councilman Morrissey. Any more councils? Go, Councilman Flynn.
I just wanted to double check with Dave, just so that we're clear and the public is clear. The $609,318.16, that is coming from the BPU. That is correct. That is not coming from city coffers.
That is correct.
Okay, and then Jason, the $100,000 that you're paying for the old Vector truck, you already had budgeted?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Councilman Morrison.
And the other thing, again, clarification, you mentioned this essentially already, but we can't transfer BPU money to pay for roads, generally speaking.
That is correct.
Right.
Okay, but now, thank you, Mr. Mayor, sorry. I will defend our fellow citizen and observe again. Yes, be that as it may, all the money is fungible, so we're spending money, and it's our decision to spend that money, so let's not confuse it with all this accounting fun talk.
Mayor Pro Tem Palladino.
The one way that it is fungible, and this is, I mean, you mentioned some of the ways that it's fungible in practice. They pay for BPU side of things during road repairs. Maybe they can give us a good deal on a truck, though. Wonder if I don't know, could they give it to us for free, or would that be illegal? Do they have to sell it at a market price?
Typically, it's done at a market price. That's basically what's the trade-in value.
Oh, okay.
And if we had to purchase the vehicle, actually Mark had done the research, if we purchased the vehicle of the same age and condition, it actually would probably be around $300,000 from a vendor. But given that we can benefit the general fund by doing purchase trade-in.
But beyond those two things, which are sort of just in the course of business, the main thing, which it's not a transfer for roads per se, but the BPU pilot, which is the benefit of having our own public utility, what is that at now, 6%? 6%, and what do you know what the dollar amount is?
It's a little over $1 million.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So the BPU pays a pilot because it's a tax exempt organization to the city, so it does in effect contribute to the general fund. It's just not that it's paying for a specific road repair or something like that in a particular instance, but it is a substantial, so that's 1/6, more than one of the entire city budget is.
I don't know the percentage, but it is a large chunk
of the city's general fund.
Discussion. We have a motion and a second. And we have a roll call vote, city clerk, please.
Yes, Councilperson Brown's,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Morrissey, Mayor Pro Tem Palladino,
Yes.
Councilperson Stewart, Wolfram, Mayor Sessions,
Yes.
Councilperson Beckman.
Yes.
6-0 is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Miscellaneous reports, we don't have any proclamations, appointments, or others. So, we move into general public comment. By council rules of procedure, I'm requiring anyone who speaks during public comment to state their name and address and limit their comments to 3 minutes. The podium is now open.
Again, Mayor, my name is Robert Eichler, and I am City of Township. I guess the example I was trying to demonstrate, whether you want to go to the Open Meetings Act and as well, how do you want to turn this on? Sorry. My apologies. Thank you. There was a great deal of confusion the last time, and I'm referring back to Lance last week's issue, but it kind of struck the difference between what we were talking about, Open Meeting Act, or we're talking about rules, or we talk about Michigan law, or we talk about the Constitution. I regard most of the stuff mostly by the Constitution. So when I came up here to this podium and introduced myself, you had not allowed me to continue. You took away something that I didn't quite understand. So referring to me wanting to speak to this public forum, I enjoyed every one of you. I've always enjoyed how the conversations are brought up here. But there are conditions. We need to learn that a lot of people have a lot to say. And if we're going to shut them down, which is eventually happening, we're standing for our own regard of what it means for us to speak. So what you did to Lance last week, as well as what I brought up, was because of that issue. Is it rules? Is it our constitutional right? The freedom to speak. That's what I'm all for. But I don't think the dictatorship needs to be pumped upon people and guiding them out the door. I think it's real that you did something I think was wrong, but I didn't want to make the event a circus in here. You guys compliment the city. You compliment actually the county as well. I like to come in here and see you folks. I enjoy what you guys have to say. But I also want more people to come in. We're not aggressive enough to getting out, knocking on doors, bringing any people into this city council. We're just dead. No one's wanting to come in. Our money is almost drained. No one's eating. We're trying to find new homes for people. It's a sad affair. I don't want to keep going. But thank you. I just want to make my explanation, Mayor Sessions. It's not against you. It's about what it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
And it is Brzezinski.
Amber Yoder, 2 North Norwood. I just want to contribute that I do appreciate the announcing of the names, because contrary to popular belief, not everybody in the city knows who everyone is on site. So I do appreciate that.
Thank you. Any more public comment? Seeing none, we'll close the podium and we'll move into the city manager report. City Manager Mackey.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things I wanted to point out for everyone. This weekend, starting this Friday the 19th, we do have a train event both Friday and Saturday. The train should arrive bringing passengers here between 11:30 and noon on Friday and Saturday, and then they will stay here till about 3 o'clock and leave. So again, that is this coming weekend, the 19th and 20th. Also, we want to bring up that the police department did receive a grant for tactical medical supplies from the Community Foundation for $2,500 to equip their vehicles with. I just want to thank the chief and Sergeant Pratt, Lieutenant Pratt, for putting in the grant application and getting the approval of the Community Foundation. That will be a great supplement to our vehicles. And then lastly, just wanted to share with the council that we do have a crew of 4 folks working over in Sturgis, or started this weekend in Sturgis. At the end of the week, had quite a bit of storm damage in their electrical system. We fortunately were missed by it, but many others were not. So we do have a crew there working to assist them in getting their system back up, which will probably take a few more days. But just wanted to share that with council, that our mutual aid crew is out helping others. And then in the time of our need, Sturgis has always been there for us. Coldwater, Marshall, Clinton, and others. So just wanted to let you know that our guys are out assisting others. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any questions for City Manager Mackey? None. We'll close that and we'll go into we'll go into council comment. Any council comment? Councilman Bentley.
First, I see Mr. Henry just walked in and seems to have missed public comment, so I would suggest you invite him to speak if he chooses.
We already passed that.
I understand. A couple things. Apparently, this is the last meeting before another Juneteenth in Hillsdale. I hope the next council can fix that.
It's a federal holiday.
It is a local holiday too, and that's the part I'm concerned about. I don't have any jurisdiction at the federal level. I cringed a little when the new general manager for CL Red introduced himself and gave his address. I think that should be a sign that we should reconsider. I talked to Mr. Cohen, Brant Cohen, after the walkthrough with the Kiefer, and it seems obvious, as we've spoken about before, that the Elks parking lot would be a natural supplement to the parking lot for the Kiefer when it opens. I would like to ask the city manager and or the attorney, can you explain why that parking lot is the way it is, and if there's anything that we can do as a body to change the situation? Because I've heard from the Elks people for years that it's an albatross around their neck and they can't get rid of it. And I don't understand the situation. I don't know if you can explain it to us, but I would ask that we look at it. I don't mean to put you on the spot about it, but thank you. And that would be, we would have a committee of, that's the roads committee or something that would discuss such a thing. Is that right, Mr. Mackey? Streets and roads or whatever?
Why don't we bring back to the council that condition, because it is bound by deed, I believe it's a deed restriction, so we can gather that information and bring it to council, and then council can make a decision. Yes, it does prohibit them from selling it or doing anything else with it, because of their commitment to the city.
Thank you, that sounds great. And, Jason, is Jason still here? I've been noticing the patches, especially Bacon and Norwood, and it really just makes all the difference in the world. And how can we encourage more of that? Can we just do that all over town in the summer? The engineer's not here, right?
He is not.
Can you fill in for him a little
So
bit?
I can, so.
Is that expensive? Like what's
It is, so that patch.
so good.
So that patch there was about $7,100. So under our policy, or our purchase policy, it comes under the $7,500 to get 3 quotes, and then of course anything more than that is going out for competitive bid. I got a great price on that. To do that, there was some money we had extra left over at the end of the year that wasn't, dedicated for street projects. It was some of the stuff that we came under budget for the year to get that done. In years past, we have done spot replacements for road projects, areas where we chip seal and so forth. But if we can move it forward, if we can do some paver patching every year, move forward, we can put that in the budget for sure.
Yes, I would encourage us to spend a lot more on that sort of thing. What was the threshold you said to bid it out?
That one's 71, the threshold's 75.
Okay. And do you guys do that? Or, do we do that in-house or do we
No, so I hired RDK Asphalt to do that patch. Graded, doing small work and so forth. They got us fit in and worked right in their schedule.
Well, thank you. Yeah, please do as much of that as you can because it makes all the difference. And I know it's just a patch and it won't last forever, but.
So that's actually from Bacon to 40-foot south. That should last 40 years. That went all the way down. So that way when 2028 to 2030, when we do Norwood, we have a good place to hook up to and we can just continue south.
Right.
So that will never have to come, that should have to come back out.
Great. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to say thank you to Jason.
You're very welcome. That turned out very well. I could always went 10 more feet. That was the problem, getting it to start and stop. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any more council comment? Councilman Flynn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second. Okay, I got a motion by Councilman Flynn, a second by Councilman Morrissey. I just want to thank everyone for attending tonight's city council meeting and watching it. Thank you, council, for everything. Okay, with that said, any more council discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passes, meeting is adjourned.